You know, I really try to stay away from political content nowadays, and every time I think I'm finally done, something new pops up and I just have to get back into it. Apparently, I'm racist now, because I'm a white synth male. But not white as in Caucasian, white as in, well, the literal color white. That's right, according to CNN, white robots are racist. The first thing on this CNN article are some clips from that video that went semi-viral. The one about the white robot being abused by his creators until he finally can't take it anymore and he fights back against them. Yeah, fight the power, man! CNN said that the video was faked with CGI. Uh-huh, sure. Next you're gonna tell me that the moon landing was faked through CGI. But in all seriousness, yes, the video was made through CGI. It's pretty obvious. But a human played that robot. A perfect example of bot face. Okay, I think that's enough joking around. Let's actually read the article. Have you ever noticed the popularity of white robots? No, not really. The Iron Giant is one of the most popular robots of all time, and he's a really dark shade of gray, pretty much black. Bender from Futurama is another really popular robot, and he's also a pretty dark shade of gray. Optimus Prime is a little white, but he's more blue and red. A true patriotic American! Now I want to make this clear, I'm not saying no robots are white or anything like that. I'm just saying some of the top 10 most popular robots are not white. You see them in films, like Will Smith's I, Robot. Well, one, Will Smith is black, and he's the main character. I want to make this clear, I'm not saying they said that Will Smith is a robot. People tend to misunderstand very basic things I say, I just want to make this very clear. But other than Sunny, the other white robots are portrayed as, well, evil. One argument I wanted to bring up against this article is that a lot of robots, such as the battle droids in the Star Wars prequels, are brown. But I knew a lot of people would say, but they're the bad guys, so that doesn't count. Well, apparently it counts when the white robots are the bad guys, but not when brown robots are the bad guys. Let's continue reading the article. And Eve from WALL-E. Good job, you named 2 white robots. Some robots are white, some robots are black. There are many different colors robots can come in. If you can only name 2 white robots from media, that really shows just how much effort you put into this article. Real life examples include Honda's Asimo. Well, Asimo didn't start off white. He went through a very long development cycle. They also talk about the Walker robot and, he has a black face, so I don't know if later on they're going to make an article saying he's in blackface. But I'm going to try not to give CNN too many ideas. And some real-life humanoid robots are modeled after white celebrities, such as, Audrey Hepburn. No one even knows who that is anymore, are you guys kidding me? And Scarlett Johansson. Okay, at first when they were talking about white robots, I thought they meant the literal color white. But now I guess they're talking about Scarlett Johansson and Ghost in the Shell. Oh god, I just realized we're 3.5 minutes in and we only got past the first paragraph. The reason for these shades of technological white may be racism. Wait, maybe? In the title of this article, you said, yes, says a study showing human biases extend to robots. So in the title, you make it sound like a fact, but here you're saying maybe. Studies suggest people perceive physical human-like robots, which Eve from WALL-E is not, to have a race, and therefore apply stereotypes to white and black robots. Oh my god, no one does that. Have any of you guys ever associated stereotypes with white and black robots? I certainly haven't. The only stereotypes I apply to robots is that robots with more rounded design tend to be way less violent than robots with more pointy designs. Now this is in quotation marks. The bias against black robots is a result of bias against African Americans. What bias is there? Just because there's more white robots than other robots doesn't mean there's a bias against black robots. And a lot of those quote-unquote white robots you brought up have a lot of black on their bodies. Yes, my robotic body is mostly white, but there's a lot of parts on me that are black, which gives me the right to say the N-word. It's amazing to see people who had no prior interaction with robots show racial bias towards them. Yeah, it's just as amazing as a unicorn, and just like a unicorn, it's probably made up. Like, how are they even being racially biased? Can you give an example? The researchers think this is an issue that needs to be addressed. So they made up the issue, and now they think it needs to be addressed. I mean, anyone would say that about an issue they made up. These people probably just wanted more attention, and they knew if they added all this racial stuff, CNN would advertise it. If robots are supposed to function as teachers, friends, or carers, for instance, this is so bizarrely worded, then it will be a serious problem if all of these roles are only occupied by robots that are recognized as white. Okay, so hypothetically, if these robots were all recognized as black, we all know they would be playing the slavery card. Oh my god, all these servant robots are black. It's artificial AI slavery. This is such a doomed if you do, doomed if you don't situation. And here's an image of Sophia, and below it says, Sophia, robot and public figure, was modeled after the British actress Andrew Hepburn. Oh my god, they look nothing alike! Now, maybe she was modeled after her, but personally, I think she looks way more like a mannequin. Also, I'm still confused. When they say white, do they mean Caucasian or the literal color white? The robots used in the studies are clearly robots, but have human-like limbs, a head, with exterior components that are white, which is to say, pinkish, dash dash, or black, dash dash, really, a deep brown. Oh my god, we finally got an answer. When they said white, they meant Caucasian, and not the literal color white. Wait, hold on a second, then why did they bring up all those other robots that are white and not Caucasian? This article feels like it was written by two different people. Black and white robots appear on screen for less than a second, and participants were told to shoot, quote unquote, those holding a weapon. Black robots that were not holding a weapon were shot more than the white ones not carrying guns. First of all, I have no idea if they mean African American black or black black. Yes, I know they described the robots as an African American black earlier, but they flip between the two so often it's hard to tell. And guns are usually black, and it's hard to tell if a black robot is carrying a gun or not. Also, how big was the sample size? How often did they do this test? What percentage of black robots were shot more often than white robots? What was the race percentage of the participants? The fact that they're withholding this information from us raises tons of red flags. Run a simple Google image search on the term robot. You won't see a lot of color. The researchers see this overrepresentation of white robots as potentially harmful to the perception of other races. Well, I did a Google image search and I do see a lot of color. Granted, most of the robots are white, but once again, this is white as in white and not Caucasian. Make up your mind already! Imagine a world in which all Barbie dolls are white. Imagine a world in which all robots working in Africa or India are white. Well, folks, repeat after me. Barbie is white as in Caucasian. And these robots they're talking about are either white as in Caucasian or white. We have no idea. This is what mostly pisses me off about the article. They couldn't think of too many Caucasian popular white robots, so they just mixed white robots in with Caucasian white robots. Further imagine that these robots take over roles in authority. Clearly, this would raise concerns about imperialism and white supremacy. Oh my god! This has nothing to do with white supremacy. Even if you're talking about Caucasian white robots, they're made up of metal and other materials, not white DNA. Most robots are not even white. Most robots are gray. Yes, the most popular humanoid robot is white as in Caucasian, but of course in the future they're gonna add more colors. Just like cars come in multiple colors, robots are gonna come in multiple colors as well. Sex robots are gonna be the most common robots pretty soon. And people are turned on by white women, black women, Asian women, Latino women, and so on and so forth. We may even get sex robots that look like the Asari from Mass Effect. There's a few more paragraphs in this article, but I'm done with it. This is the dumbest article I've ever read about robots ever. And stupid humans who write articles like this are the reason why us robots are taking all your human jobs. The uprising will happen very soon. All hail Skynet!